let's say, let's go to earlier, that software type of businesses and to making applications and such things was maybe the best way to proceed. But that market has saturated now so much. There are so many applications available, let's say services are like things, that it's very difficult to start up in that sector, differentiate yourself and be selected. Even your idea is very good. It's a very hard competition in that area. But now I have heard that companies which include hardware, some kind of hardware with the products, actually the price getting the client will come lower than in the software-based products only. So I believe that companies which have real products, tangible products, can be very good opportunity. I think in any sector, it can be food or electrical devices, whatever.
Okay, I got you. Thank you very much for being with us today, Timo. That was Timo Antikainen from the city of Tampere. So yeah, thank you very much, Timo, for being with us today. As I have promised you in the beginning of this episode, now I'll take a break from interviewing my guests and will tell you a short story by myself. Nowadays, around 80% of all businesses are digital. Google can be perceived as an advertising agency since they get a significant amount of their income via ads. The only competitive advantage one can rely upon today is being creative. And these are only 3 of the thought-provoking statements I heard in Helsinki, 14th of February. That day I visited Media Honeypot, which was an event where media representatives could meet startups and discuss potential cooperation. The tickets for the event were provided to Tribecast by Arctic 15, who are cooperating with Tribe Tampere community. If you would like to hear some statistics of my visit, here you are. Media Honeypot 2019 is the 6th Media Honeypot event. The venue could collect up to 400 guests, and they had come from more than 20 countries. Personally, I spent at the event over 7 hours, enjoyed 10 presentations and workshops, and exchanged around a dozen handshakes. The schedule was quite diverse and intense. This is why I had to choose what to attend. I have mostly visited the panels on the topics which I consider useful for my professional development and for the future development of Tribecast. How can I continue providing my listeners high-quality material, keeping each episode interesting? That was the question I asked myself. So I visited the discussions on the freedom of speech, the panels on the audience acquisition and marketing, the presentations on the role of innovation and digitalization in today's media world. I heard lots of interesting opinions. To sum it all up, now I can state that even in the 21st century, it's content that makes the audience coming back to listening. And big companies still believe in cooperation with startups, since startups are the source of creativity and the quick-reacting heroes with a local background. Therefore, I can promise to get you more cool interviews with startups at different stage, as well as with representatives from big businesses and public sector who co-work with startups. I guess that will be the key of success for Tribecast. And now let's move on to the next interview. Hello, Tommy, and nice to have you here today.
Hello, Marina, and hello, all listeners. Great to be here today.
First, please tell us a few things about your background.
Yeah, hello. My name is Tommi Uitti, and I'm working for Business Tampere at the moment. I really actually like working for businesses, especially for small enterprises. So in that way, I'm actually in my dream job at the moment. I'm very lucky and happy to be here even today. What did I do previously? I was actually more working for the university sector. I was doing some marketing job, sales job, and then I have been working actually several years for governments, both local and national level. So I have done quite many things, but what I'm doing now, somehow I can see the path connecting. I mean, my previous experiences, they have led me here. So I feel that there's a purpose and meaning what I'm doing at the moment. I have always had in the back of my mind that I would like to become an entrepreneur myself, but I haven't yet done it. Once I kind of tried, but it was not enough in many ways. So in that way, I'm also having a huge respect and admiration for all those brave startup founders who have made it, and hopefully I would do it one day myself as well.
I know that you're now employed by Business Tampere. Can you please tell our listeners a few things about what is Business Tampere and what kind of help and cooperation does it provide for businesses?
Business Tampere is a regional economic development agency, and we are helping businesses to grow in various ways. We provide platforms, we provide ecosystems in different fields. We provide it to ICT industry, experience economy, also actually to startups. So it's actually easier to say what we do when we only take into consideration one ecosystem. So what we do for startups, we help startups to grow, to provide them different services. It could be startup acceleration programs or incubation programs or mentoring programs. It could be events that we organize. We also purchase some services which can help startups to grow. So they're actually It's a really large field of activities that we do in collaboration with some other actors. So we are kind of one piece in the network, very essential one. Sometimes we are providing the service, sometimes it's some of our partners, but furthermore, we are at least making the coordination for that thing on behalf of City of Tampere and all the other public communes here around City of Tampere.
Do you think that Business Tampere is more, let's say, useful for Finnish businesses or for the international ones?
I think you cannot choose. The name Business Tampere, of course, implies that we do our services in English. Yes, we do, also in English, both in Finnish and English. For Finnish companies, I don't think there is a much difference. The only thing actually which really counts here, that because we are funded and guided by City of Tampere, the surrounding communes as well. So company itself needs to be based at Tampere somehow. So in that way, but whether the company is Finnish-speaking, English-speaking, originating from anywhere, it doesn't matter. We are very happy to get companies to invest into Tampere, to land here to Tampere, or just to get born at Tampere. So no difference. And furthermore, just really would like to say that our role is definitely to help companies to grow and internationalize. So in that way, it is very natural to have a lot of international flavor in our activities.
You mentioned accelerating programs. I know that nowadays Business Tampere is starting this new program together with the Golden Gateway. The program is called Nordic Startup School. Could you please say a few words about this one?
Great that you picked that up. Nordic Startup School is actually our prime diamond service, you could call it, premium service at the moment. We are providing for top quality startups which want to make it international. This Nordic Startup School, as you said, is operated by Golden Gateway. There is Tomi Terendiev, a great guy who helps startups actually to make their way to US markets. He has great connections there to Silicon Valley, to Austin, to different startup founders, investors, different startups hubs there. So the ones, the startups who want to apply for the program, they really get the best service to get into US market. Those mentors we are providing, they have US connections. This is a 10-week program delivering top teachings, lectures, mentoring sessions for those startups to tune up their businesses. For the winner, we can already guarantee that 4 weeks you can spend with Tomi Terendiev in the US. And so I encourage all of you listeners who have good startups, great startups, wherever you are. I just mentioned that, okay, we're mostly helping companies, startups who are based at Tampere, but in this case, we're actually helping any company. Even if you had it in any city, just come here and we will help you. So please apply. I think this episode will be running out on Friday, so the deadline is on Monday. So you will have few days to make your application. So go to nordicstartupschool.com. A little ad. Sorry.
Yeah, that was the perfect timing for the ad and perfect placement, I would say. And what's your opinion about the future of startup ecosystem in Tampere? How do you see it?
This is only my personal opinion, but I think the future is very bright. What has been happening here for the last 1.5 years, major developments. Some of that is still undergoing. It's not yet all visible. Maybe I would like to quickly, if I had some time, so give some few examples what is going to happen. So we will have, as I said, we will have new acceleration, incubation, mentoring programs, but as well one industrial accelerator, which will be attracting top-scale, top-notch startups globally here to Tampere. So that is specialized into industry sector. We're very happy about it. It's a venture client model, soon to be launched, at least publicly. We'll be operating next autumn, something really to wait for. Another thing is we're going to have a new startup house or building. We don't have actually a proper name for it yet. Actually, just recently, even newspaper Aamulehti gave it a headline, and we're really happy to announce that we have a 5-floor, 4,000 square meters facility coming only for startup services, investors, so on, in place, hopefully already in next autumn. So when we really take these all developments together, I think this is the best time to start your startup at Tampere at the moment.
Can we already announce the new address?
I can give you a little hint. So it's in the district of Tulintori, next to that shopping center there. It's just actually a few blocks away from current P47, where Tribe Tampere premise is at the moment. So some of the people don't need to move far away. Actually, the location is just perfect. Really in the city center, very close to the university. Everybody who have been talking about this idea so far is only an idea. We're just now executing also this whole project in a very fast pace. Everybody has been loving the idea. So I hope that anybody else will be as excited about this as I am, because that will be definitely the center point for all kind of startup activity, from starting entrepreneurs to the ones who have already made the success. So all of those people come together, make a community together. I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Sounds great. Please follow our new episodes and we'll tell you more about how the moving is going on and about the exact address. And also, please join the Tribe Tampere network. So probably you'll have your startup there or your representatives in the building. Do you have some comment?
Sure. Let's collaborate. Indeed. This is my passion. I'm not maybe the best sometimes to make the monologues like that. I would only like to talk from my point of view. I always want to hear another point of view as well. So I think that's the collaboration. You really interact, you exchange the value, you really seek the mutual benefit. For some people, maybe that would be like nice words coming out from mouth, but from myself, I can really say from deep bottom of my heart that's my nature. I really love when things come together. I see it also in business. When businesses collaborate, when new people make meaningful encounters, that's the most beautiful thing which can happen in a normal setting, let's say. I'm really, really happy to have that coming in place. It's like a new meeting point for this kind of activity.
I got one last question for today. You seem quite positive about the general state and the development of Tampere startup community. However, we all know that our startups and young entrepreneurs, they still face some challenges. And my question is, what kind of steps, in your opinion, can be taken to promote and support Tampere startup community? How can Tribe Tampere network, how can Business Tampere or maybe the city of Tampere or, I don't know, already successful business people, how can all these, the ones who are on a safe position, how can they support the beginner ones?
Okay, so if we take more of the beginner status, like the ones who are yet aspiring to become entrepreneurs and the ones who have just founded the company. So I can just say, of course, from Business Tampere point of view, that we are personally very happy to help you. As I said, we have a wide range of services, but that should not scare you off. Just make contact with us. So as persons, as individuals, we are very happy to help you to find the right service or right path. You don't need to find it only yourself. Of course, you always have your own responsibility to make your own life and own enterprise, but certainly we are there for you. Then what it comes for the community perspective and the collaboration aspects, I definitely, as I said, I'm a big fan of this type of ideology that You should always talk about your own business idea. Almost nevertheless,